In the latest of a wave of bankruptcies for cryptocurrency companies, cryptocurrency lender Celsius just filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy yesterday evening on July 13th. Now many customers are wondering what's next and whether they'll be able to recover any of their crypto. We covered Chapter 11 bankruptcy when talking about Voyager Digital, but the first important thing to note with this Celsius situation is that they filed for a Chapter 11 bankruptcy specifically. There are different kinds of bankruptcy filings in the United States, but as you can see on the uscourts.gov government website, Chapter 11 bankruptcy is best described as a reorganization bankruptcy. When companies file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, it puts their civil litigation on hold so that the company is able to continue operating the business while planning for how to restructure in order to pay the creditors it owes. Think of it like a pause to litigation issues while the company prepares a plan to pay back the creditors. While in Chapter 11, the company has the possibility of borrowing new money to bail out the business provided that the company gets court approval. So getting acquired and other funding are still on the table right now for Celsius. In order to work through the Chapter 11 bankruptcy proceedings, a reorganization plan for the company will be created and proposed, and the creditors who are owed money can vote on the plan. If it gets the required votes from the creditors that the company owes, like its customers, and meets the legal requirements, the court can then approve the restructuring plan for the company, and Celsius can exit the Chapter 11 bankruptcy. This means that Celsius is attempting to restructure and continue operations with this Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Unlike Voyager's Chapter 11 announcement, there's no mention of a specific plan to repay its customers and other creditors at the moment in the press release. Their press release did mention that Celsius did not plan to enable customer withdrawals as part of the Chapter 11, and instead would be pursuing a repayment of customers through the bankruptcy proceedings. The statement also confirmed that Celsius paused all withdrawals because of a run on the bank effect, where customers were trying to withdraw large amounts of their crypto from the company, which would have emptied the company's crypto reserves and prevented later customers from withdrawing their own crypto holdings. The release said, quote, "Without a pause, the acceleration of withdrawals would have allowed certain customers, those who were first to act, to be paid in full while leaving others behind to wait for Celsius to harvest value from illiquid or longer-term asset deployment activities before they receive a recovery." End quote. Celsius has $167 million of cash on hand that it will use to continue basic operations while Chapter 11 proceedings are happening. Unfortunately, Chapter 11, according to experts, means that customers may have to wait years for a resolution to get money back from the company, and may only get pennies on the dollar back compared to what they had invested with Celsius. There's also a risk, according to some, that customers could be seen as unsecured creditors in the law's view, which means that they would be less likely to get money back. A secured creditor is a person that loans to a company and has collateral in return should the company default on its loan. In the event of the company defaulting on the loan or going bankrupt, the secured creditors have direct claim to the collateral asset offered on their loan. Unsecured creditors, on the other hand, are lenders that loaned to a company and did not have any specified assets or collateral. These loans are riskier for the person loaning by nature, since there's no collateral to fall back on if the loan defaults. So they generally have higher interest offered on the loan to offset the increased risk. In this case, the court will need to determine whether Celsius customers are secured or unsecured creditors, which will likely play a factor in how much of their money Celsius customers will be able to recover from the company, since secured creditors are further up in line for getting payments from the bankruptcy proceedings. Either way, it's unlikely, though, that customers will be able to recover their entire investment from Celsius. The Chapter 11 situation will need to be monitored by Celsius customers to see what plan of reorganization is proposed by the company in the Chapter 11 court proceedings. If this video was helpful, please subscribe to the channel for more finance content and news. Thanks.